Hey guys, I figured we'll get back going on this bike again. It's probably been about 2 weeks of me screwing around with other stuff, and now we can spend a little bit more time on it. I like to probably get the rear fender set up. I got to take the tire off. I'm going to put new tubes in it, and we'll set the dimension where the tire is, where the fender rubs, and we'll carve the fender in now to where the motor will want to index down into there. But before we do that, I got a call from a friend of mine, Wizard Joe. You guys seen the older gentleman that I went riding around in a couple of my bike ride videos. Had a house cleaning, so to speak. Got a bunch of goodies. Check all this stuff out. He had a pile for free, and then he was going to start selling some stuff. And so I bought a couple of pieces, and I also acquired some. Check that out. That's the gas tank for, I believe, most Schwinn setups. That's nice, huh? We can do the same that we did on the other bike. And gave me this frame. Then he had some stuff taken apart, which was that guy and that guy. So I bought these two guys, and then that knockoff Springer front end. That's a knockoff of that style. So, gave him $50 for them. But this stuff was free. I was like, yeah, that's the stuff that's more. But those two pieces seem like they go with this frame. The colors are right. You know? I think those pieces are off of that frame. So that'd be a nice bike to put back together. Back away from it. And he has a Wizard. This is a drive for a Wizard for a back rim. Give me a bunch more back rims and some other bits and pieces. It's gonna be dark in here. That's a carburetor. With some lighting and gauges and old headlights, kind of stuff. There's a dynamo. The old dynamos for to get seized up. Runs on a wheel. That's a siren. That's what that is. That's cool. Some necks, pedals. Here's a dynamo. I think I just take a second to show that. That's pretty cool. You can't see anything, can you? So, more for the Horde. But let's get back to the bike and get the rear wheel off and get the fender up in there. We just stuck that back on there lightly. So that's the location where the fender is going to be, and we need to cut into that fender right about there. I'm going to try to leave some meat on the side though, you know what I mean, so that it gives the rest of the fender strength. Probably weld around that. You know what we should do? I got it. We'll take the muffler off and we'll be able to get a good eyeball where it's kind of going into the tire. Some tape on there just so we can kind of mark out. I would say we definitely, it's going to go on a downward draw from here. I wouldn't say we need to go any higher than that. We can always go back and trim it a little more, I guess. I'd say from there, you wanted to go down. You figure it's going to get the tire is going to be right about there, right? Let's call it, what do you think? We'll come into about, we'll try it there. We'll see how that does. I'll redraw that around and give it a slice, and we'll put it back on. Let's see what we get. I could have left this side a lot taller because it's not even coming over that far. I would say we're okay, but we got to whittle away on the other side. Actually, that body's going to hit right into that, ain't it? Maybe we'll hammer this. Let's hammer this in a hair. We'll cut into it further, and then we'll hammer this in a little bit. The other side's fine. Yeah. Continue that line. I don't think we gotta go that much further. We'll get it tuned up, and then we'll throw the tire back on it again. We'll see how that lines up. Always alert. You thought it was going to happen. These things do not like sharp edges, and what am I using it for? I need to dent that in a little anyway, right? Try it. Let's see how that does for us. Oh, nice. Depending on how far in we have to go. I don't think we have to go in that far though. I think that's probably going to be right about there. We can take a little. This still has to come off and get the edges cleaned up anyway, but for a roughing, that's pretty good. Again, I could have left a little bit more meat on this side, but hindsight's easy to say that, right? Good. Let's get the tire up and then we'll see how that looks. That's where it should go. That's more than fine. We got plenty of room. I probably could have left a little bit more meat on that side. But for future adjustment, I'd rather have it a little on the sloppy side. Well, it's good to have it on the sloppy side. Yeah, we're fine. Plenty. What do you want to do now? That still needs to be mocked up and new ends put on it. I'd say we could probably tweak the fan shroud. I mean the that guy. Put a little lump in it. We'll notch into that. I want to get that up about I'll be okay like that. Yeah, let's go a little something like that. That's the next one. Let's go do that. See, we go. I'm going to do the width first because you want to keep as much of that as possible on there. Let's go with, that's how far out we're going to go. And we'll kick it from there to there. Again, we'll keep it so we still can move that motor around a little bit without having to be deathly afraid. So I was able to get the front and the back original mounts screwed back in, and we got plenty of room. That should work just fine. And I like the lines are all kind of lining up, so in the dry position, you know, stack up fairly well. Threw the muffler back on just for mock-up and kind of looking in how things are going. Looks fine. I think next we'll get into, I like to play with maybe the seat and maybe putting a rack or something on the back, or just at least entertain the idea, you know. So I know that there is a beat up black one over here. Let's go and try this guy. It's gonna be kind of big. Actually not bad, especially if we tuck it in. Actually, it won't look bad, will it? Just take the seat off so the seat's not screwing us up. We could probably take that out and get that further up here too. We could suck it down even further. We can do that if we want to. I don't know. Either way kind of works. As long as it's not past the fender, you know? That's how it'll make it look goofy. You just gotta get folded down. Just gonna trash everything now. Alright, hold on. Yeah, something probably like with a spacing like that. Okay, we can shift it around. We can cut it up if we want, I don't care. A spot for a reflector. I think what we should do is get the bike flat on the ground. We'll get rid of that stand, let it sit flat, and we'll have a better idea, you know, the rack, doing one of these. And kind of draw some imaginary lines, see how we like it. What do you think? Kind of long. I wonder if maybe we'll punch that pin out of there and see if we could choke up on it further. You can go about 3 inches. I think the problem also is that that support is such on an angle laying back. Because on a 26-inch, you know, it'd be already be like right there. So if we can get that much more forward, it could be a stronger and a better line. Plus we're going to play with the seat too, would be the next thing, what we're going to use for that. I don't want to finalize anything until I get a good picture in my head, you know. Let's go see if the other... Was there not a fork separate? Why did I think there was a fork that was separate other than the new... I think I'm thinking of the spring. That's it. Thinking of that assembly. What about that guy? Yeah, that one kind of matches this bike though. I'm quickly going to take the chrome one. We'll throw it up there and look at it. I think right about there. I think that old rusty crusty one will look cool on there. But let's see, it'll kick the front tire out about another 4 inches. It's longer on the bottom. I can make the bike look longer. kind of stubby right now. Yes, I cut my way free in the front and slid that forward. I do like that better. And again, these will be more straight up and down. They're going to be like that. That should be fine. I think the next thing we kind of play with is the seat. I grabbed this. I bought this at a yard sale last summer. $10. It's got kind of busted up and racked, and somebody, I think that's brazing in there, brazed it back together. But it's got two. If you take the 3 nuts off, the pan will separate. You could rewrap it with leather in between there, so we can recover however we want. That's what was on it. What was left of what was on it. I think that's a better size. The other one's a girl seat. It's real short and stubby. I wonder if that would suffice a little better. The problem is, again, it's brazed, and they brazed, I think they brazed to this. Yeah, they did. So that can't turn. So whatever that angle is, so we got to go for. But that's already on there. Why don't we take that off and try applying that, see where it ends up. Not that we can't cut this and make whatever we want, right? I kind of like it. It does rotate too. The outside is welded, but the inside's not. So if you loosen the bolt up, you can pivot it back and forth. I like the length of it. It's a little on the wide side, but sometimes you got to come back out the next day and look at it, and you look at something too long, you get kind of screwed up. So all is well, except for the fact that how racked it is. And again, it's whatever wreckage it went through in its past. I think we'll try getting a bar. We'll put a bar through here and see if we can roll this thing a little bit more square to the back of the bike. I had a strap over on that side. Give me something to counter. What do you think our chances are? I think our chances are that brazing is going to break right out of there. Actually, bent a little too easy, huh? Did I overshoot it? That's a tad soft. Tad soft too, though. Not bad. I think the bike's leaning a little down that way. What do you think? Think we leave it alone? That's to the point where I was just sitting in the chair staring at it, trying to come up with ideas. The seats, it's okay. It's got to grow on me, I think. I wish I had something in between those two, you know. This one seems a little too small. I like the look of it. It's just... I don't know, maybe once that's padded it won't look as much because it's going to stop there. The rack I'm kind of on the fence on. Not sure. And I think... You want to try flipping handlebars over? I think the problem is I think I'm trying to take a short stubby bike and trying to make it look elongated when maybe the bike is trying to tell me that that's not what I want. That won't look right with me. But we're going to continue on a little bit. We'll kind of screw around, and as long as it's physically able to be ridden, that's kind of why I like the rack on the back. If I'm tall, and I may even find I'll be sitting on the rack kind of trying to putting around on it instead of on the seat at times. It's a 24-inch wheels. You know, it's a short frame. All right, let's screw around with the handlebars. I'll change the look. Gotta remember, there's gonna be a light on it too somewhere. I want this one off. get up on top of the bench. That one ain't coming off. Coming off that side. Where do we want that? Well, that totally gives it a different look. Punching yourself in the knees is the only problem. Try and pedal it. I gotta hop up on it and see how I clear stuff. Pardon me for not dressing up for the occasion. That's where my knee is gonna be. I'd like it way more out there. That's not terrible. I don't know about pedaling it though. That's where I go crashing to the ground. It's tight. That's why I was trying to get the seat back further too, you know. I think the seat needs to go back further. I think we leave the front the way it is. That's why we try. I don't mind handlebars like that. Just, I want to be, you know, over yonder. Just been playing around with some stuff. There's another rack that I had. Different style. The problem with that one is it's so fat. If you want the seat to tuck down around it, it doesn't fit in between the springs on either one. And that one's got a taper to it. And also, we're kind of start looking at like lights and all, so you figure how it's going to lean out. I kind of like. That's not terrible. It brings that front line out a lot further. Of course, it's going to be right there, but there's an old ratty gauge. Well, we could tuck that like something like that. Again, it's getting ahead of ourselves. I'm still trying to figure out how am I going to fit on the bike and where that should go. So it's the seat and the rack is kind of where I have to focus. Again, it all depends on where the handlebars end up too. But I don't know, maybe we'll take this right out of here and put the seat where we want it and then build back to that post somehow. Or not use it at all, maybe. I don't know. It's getting late. I like the way it's going. I might flip the handlebars back over the other way and kind of stare at it a little bit more. My battery light's flashing, so we're going to be running this one down pretty soon. I thank all you guys for kind of hanging out in the garage and playing a little rusty junk. Who knows where this is going to go? It can go anywhere. We can make up whatever we want.